Doug has been our resident historian for many years, and he's going to come up now and share a few Lincoln facts with us.
Good evening. You know many facts about Lincoln, that he was our tallest president. Maybe this is not as widely known, but he's the only president who has had a patent registered in the patent office. It's some kind of device to lift boats over shoals, which was part of his earlier life. But I thought that I would talk about the 1864 election, when Lincoln was seeking re-election. He wasn't so sure that he would be able to be successful, because the war was not going very well. But there were some victories just before the election, thanks to Ulysses S. Grant. And he also was opposed to a person who was not, he was opposed by a person who was not very successful in the war. This was General George McClellan, who was the general of the Army of the Potomac, who just never could get his act together. But then he did win the Democratic nomination to run against Lincoln in 1864. The southern states were not participating in the election because the Civil War was still going on. And Lincoln was able to win re-election with 55% of the vote. He lost only small states of Delaware, New Jersey, which was fairly small then, and Kentucky. So the Electoral College vote was 212 to 21. He won Maine with 59.2% of the vote. So Maine did better than the rest of the nation. He won Androscoggin County by 62.7% of the vote. So Androscoggin did better than Maine did.
Wow.
And I thought, well, what did the individual towns do in the state of Maine, in the county of Androscoggin? So I looked up the figures in the Lewiston Daily Journal of November of 1864, and this is what I found. First, note that Mechanic Falls was not in existence at the time, so I didn't leave them out. I'll go from the bottom up. Randy and the other people from Wales, I'm sorry, but your town was the least supportive. I'm afraid that Lincoln won only about 34% of the vote in Wales. There were 3 other towns that Lincoln lost. Danville was a separate town at the time, Greene and Durham, with between 45 and 48% of the vote. Barely winning election was Lincoln barely won in Leeds and Poland. Well, it wasn't too bad. It was 53% and 55% respectively. Then we get up above 60%. Turner, Minot, and East Livermore, which was the former name of Livermore Falls. And then, by a 2-to-1 margin, 67%, Livermore and Auburn. What? Okay. Very good. 2-to-1 margin. Okay, now there are 3 remaining towns. What have I forgot? What have I not mentioned? Sabattus, Lisbon, and Lewiston. This is the order in which they finished. Webster, 72, which was the former name of Sabattus, 72.5%. Lisbon, 72.8%. And Lewiston, you know, Jason made a comment that Lewiston's a difficult town. But Lincoln won by 75.7%, a 3-to-1 margin. Things have changed. Things have changed, I'm sorry to say, but Governor Paul LePage won a plurality in Lewiston. Things are looking up, and I hope we can do better than we have been for the past few years. So I thought just these indications of how things have changed would be interesting to you, and these are the facts that I have brought to you.